You would never believe how Alaska natives live today, the kind of life they are living now. Two hunting brothers once hunted 9 grouse just for the breast meat. In summer, the whole family must catch a lot of fish and turtles to store and eat through the long winter. Besides white meat, they also need to hunt a moose to provide red meat and fat. The otters they catch are not only for food, but also for making hats which can sell for a few $100s in Bethel, Alaska. 1,9 Guy fast. Avery and Gare are on their way to the hunting ground to hunt some seals for their family to eat. These two brothers have lived a wild, self-sufficient life since childhood, feeding their family and the elders in the community. Living here, there is no house debt or car debt and no 9-to-5 job. The only pressure is to keep finding food. In the eyes of outsiders, the life of the two brothers looks like an adventure story. When they drive boats or fly planes to hunt and fish, doing everything for one goal: to feed the family. The two brothers are real Yupik people, and years ago their people were once banned from speaking their language, but now they have risen. Not only can they speak their mother tongue freely, but one of them studied at Stanford and became a lecturer teaching the Yupik language and traditional culture. People say brothers united can break stone. Even living in the wild, full of danger and hardship, they rely on each other, working hard to become true providers for the family. No matter the danger, they trust each other with their lives without hesitation. Today's mission is hunting otters. They drive the boat to their grandfather's land, where there are many otters, so they must watch carefully. Avery is the first to spot an otter on the bank and tells Gare to get ready, but it was just a mistake. He mistook a duck for an otter. Mistakes are hard to avoid, and they joke about it for fun. This hunting area has a lot of wildlife. Not far along, they spot a mother and calf moose by the river. As providers for their people, big animals like that mean hope for their future. But today's main mission is otters, so they cannot just stand and watch. They must make sure they have enough food to survive on this land. The two brothers move into a small river branch where the narrow water makes otters easier to spot. Not long after entering, they find a den, a large otter den with fresh branches, which means there must be an otter inside. They drive the boat right onto the den and search, but besides fresh branches, there are no other signs. Avery hits the water with the paddle to make loud noise to scare the otter out. The trick works. An otter surfaces not far away. They quickly return to the boat and move there. Waiting for it to surface again, Gare aims and fires quickly, but misses. After being startled, the otter will surface in more hidden places, so thick bushes along the bank become the main search spots. And then something appears, but looking closely, it was just 2 muskrats. Their family only eats animals from the water, so they did not shoot. So they moved on to the next den to try their luck. Not long after, they found another den, and an otter was swimming nearby. The boat was shaking, so the first 2 shots missed. On the 3rd shot, they finally got their first otter. The meat is enough for the family for a few days, and the fur can be made into a good hat worth over $100. Right now, the village still needs more food, so they must hunt 1 more otter to safely get through the hungry season. The 2 Yupik hunters spot another otter. They quickly aim and fire. Right on time, the 2nd otter of the day is theirs. Gare and Avery head home happy. Because of the warm weather, they process the animal right away. First, the fur is removed for hats. The meat is handled by their mother, Anna. 3 Guys fast. She uses a sharp ulu knife to open the belly and remove organs, then cuts the body into pieces for storage. To reward her 2 sons, she will cook a big dinner with the meat. Time quickly moves into summer. Now otter hunting is no longer legal, so the main food of the locals becomes salmon. In recent years, salmon numbers have been dropping, so the government limits fishing with strict rules. This month in Bethel, Alaska only has 2 days open for fishing. Time is very short, so the father takes the 2 brothers. Early in the morning, they reach the river. The weather is very bad. Strong wind and heavy rain hit their faces, but for food, they have no other choice. At 7, when the season opens, they drop the net in a good spot. What they fear most are drifting logs, because one hit can destroy the net. In the past, they could fish anytime, but now they must wait for permission before going on the river. Because time is limited, everything must be done carefully. After setting the net, they do not leave. They must check if there are fish here to avoid wasting time. After just 10 minutes, the float starts shaking, meaning fish are in the net. From the movement, it is likely king salmon. This fish usually travels in groups, so if one is caught, there are more. The float shakes harder and the net loses its shape, so they must quickly adjust it before losing the fish. After a while, it is time to pull the net. The 2 brothers pull it slowly into the boat and quickly get the first fish, a top-quality king salmon about 5 kilos. But their goal is more than 30 fish, but there is only this one fish, which means there is no school here, so they must move. In the past, river fish were one of their main foods. Very important. Now fishing is restricted. It has seriously affected the culture, traditions, and lifestyle of river natives. But when you live on someone else's land, you must follow rules, and also protecting nature is for the next generation. After setting the net, they keep waiting until they reach their target number. However, the good hope is finally defeated by harsh reality. The rare fishing season just opened, but there are almost no fish. No wonder almost no one in the village goes out. The father and 2 sons keep moving in the storm. 5 hours and 3 different spots, but they only caught 2 king salmon. In the past, they could catch dozens. They can only blame commercial fishing boats with huge nets that damage the ecosystem. In the end, the natives suffer the most. Seeing the sky getting dark, they bring the 2 small fish home. The next day, the weather is better and brings new hope. This time, they use a wider net, hoping for more fish. After waiting, they start pulling the net. Today is better than yesterday. In a short time, they catch a few fish, but things go wrong. When the net gets stuck on a big root, they try but cannot free it. When they try to pull to shore, it will not move. There is no other way. The father decides to cut the net. The net is very expensive, but he cuts it himself. The 3 of them feel heartbroken. Even with half a net, they must keep fishing. Luckily, a school of fish arrives. Before the net is fully set, fish are already caught. After a while, they pull the net. They can clearly feel many big fish fighting inside. Even with half a net, they catch 54 fish, about 400 kilos. This fish will feed the family for a long time. This is top-quality king salmon meat. Alaska natives often grill and eat it like a snack during fishing season, which only lasts 2 days. Under their father's lead, Gare and Avery catch 54 salmon over 300 kilos. After cleaning, the fish will be smoked or dried so the family can eat all winter. Winter here is very cold, so fish is not enough. They also need fat and red meat, so before winter, they must hunt big animals. Without thinking much, the best choice is a giant moose. On the first days of moose season, the 2 brothers fly to Takana. Used small propeller planes here are not expensive like used cars. More than half the people here can fly planes. On average, 1 plane for every 6 households. Some people even fly to work every day. That is why life here is like this. This is because the road system is poor. In winter, the few roads are covered by deep snow and cannot be used, so planes are the main way to travel. After landing safely, they drive an ATV to camp. Since childhood, the brothers have hunted with their father here, and hunting moose in fall is family tradition. During these 2 days, they also have another task to hunt more than 10 grouse or pheasants for enough food before moose season officially begins. Before going grouse hunting, they check fuel and electricity on the boat. Then zero the rifle because in hunting there is usually only 1 shot. If the first shot misses, it is over. After preparing everything, they enter the hunting ground looking for grouse and watching for moose tracks. Even though they cannot hunt yet, they can mark the spot. They know there are large grass fields here, so they go straight there and see many moose tracks, which means moose are active here. Forest surrounds the grassland, good for hunters to hide and call the animal without being seen. When moose season opens, they will return here, but for now they must hunt grouse for food. While searching for birds, they suddenly see a bull moose, but they can only watch. If you were in this situation, what would you do? After marking the location, they keep hunting grouse. This bird has natural camouflage, so it is hard to see. After careful searching, they finally spot the first bird near the river. Gare aims and fires, dropping the first grouse. There are 2 more on the ground. He quickly fires a second shot. The shotgun spreads like an arrow, hitting 2 birds with 1 shot. By 9 o'clock, they have 9 grouse. With this food, they can relax and prepare for moose hunting. Following the rule, take only what you need, they return to camp. On the way, they see another moose, so they stop and watch it for a while. Back at camp, they process the birds, pluck some feathers, and take the breast meat. The heart and gizzard are kept. Tonight, they will have a big meal and a good sleep. Tomorrow, when moose season opens, the 2 brothers will enter the hunting ground. Do you think they will succeed? They pluck the grouse and take the breast meat. The heart and gizzard are the parts Gare and Avery eat. The legs, wings, and bones, the head, neck, and tail have almost no meat, so they are discarded. 9 grouse only make a small tray of meat, but enough for 2 days. However, they flew far to Tacona, not just for this small amount of meat. Because the harsh Alaska winter is coming, they need a giant moose to feed the family through winter. This grouse meat is only food during the hunt. The next day, moose season begins. At dawn, they enter the hunting area. To avoid predators, moose often feed at this time. It does not know no matter how it hides, it cannot escape the hunters. Their first stop is not the grass field, but the place where they saw tracks yesterday. This place, to avoid being seen, they turn off headlamps and slow down. When they get close, they see a moose, but it is a cow with a calf, so they cannot hunt. But where there is a cow, there must be a bull, so they keep searching. And soon find another target, but the bushes are too thick. They cannot tell if it is a bear or the moose. To avoid a dangerous mistake, they go on land to check. But after careful watching, they see nothing. Maybe they were too nervous, or the animal already left. They return to the boat and keep searching. Because hunting big animals like this, the best place is near the river, because the riverbank gives a clear view and makes moving moose meat easier. But every advantage has a downside. In autumn, thick plants make moose easy to hide. To find them, hunters often only see ears or antlers. This requires very good eyesight. Watching carefully for a long time can make hunters mistake logs or branches for animals. And after searching for a long time, finally a moose appears, but they did not see it earlier and drove the boat too close to the bull. Seeing the two-legged creatures, it ran into the forest. It was too late to shoot, and they could not chase it, so they had to find another animal. The whole day passed in repeated chases. They had chances but missed them. On the second day in the clear morning, they told each other to stay calm because moose season is short. If they fail, the family will have no red meat for winter. After moving around, they reach a big grass field and hide at the forest edge. They call like a moose. Soon they hear branches breaking, likely a moose moving. One keeps calling, the other waits ready to shoot. But suddenly all sounds stop. The forest goes silent. They were discovered and had to retreat. On the third day before sunrise, they move along the river, searching again and again. Their effort finally pays off. At a river bend, they find the target. This time, Gare is the shooter. Avery stands ready for a second shot. After one loud shot, the animal drops. This bull moose is not very large, but enough for the family to survive winter. This will help them through the winter. With a sharp knife, they skin the animal and get hundreds of kilos of meat. After 3 days of effort, Gare and Avery finally succeed. The moose falls near the river, so they butcher it there and load meat onto the boat, saving transport work. As Alaska natives, they try not to waste food from tongue to heart. Liver and kidney are eaten. Lungs and intestines are left for scavenger animals. They remember the old days. Their grandparents ate raw liver with salt, but now they usually cook it. Some meat is shared with village elders. The rest goes to their family. After loading all the meat, they cut the lower jaw of the moose and hang it high on a tree for luck, hoping for another successful hunt next time. Then they return home. Their parents are waiting at camp. Seeing the food, they are very happy. They will smoke the meat for long storage. Their time in Tacuna is limited, so before returning to Bethel, they want more food. For example, whitefish here tastes very good and cannot be caught in Bethel, so they decide to go. The two brothers drive the boat to find a clean riverbank where the current slows down, perfect for fishing. Each of them holds a rod and starts fishing. Even rain cannot stop them. In a land full of resources, fishing is simple. With just a lure, fish keep biting. Soon Gar catches the first fish of the day. Whitefish is a cold water fish. People say human body heat alone can kill it because the meat is very tasty. It is popular and very expensive. In northeast China, it sells for high price. Our country also has this fish, but it is rare, so it is protected. If you ever see one, you should stay away, or you may get into trouble. Serious trouble. For the two brothers, fishing feels like a competition. Not after Gare catches the first fish, Avery gets a little nervous. He changes to a better lure and casts again. Hard work pays off. Finally, he pulls up his first fish, even bigger than Gare's. With fish in hand now, they move on to hunt mallard ducks. These water birds are very alert, so they move slowly along the river. When they see ducks, they cut the engine and paddle quietly. But the ducks still see them from far away and fly away. As the second duck takes off, Avery shoots but misses, and the whole flock flies away. But there are many birds here. With patience, they will not go home empty. At a river bend to stay hidden, Avery walks from the shore, quietly approaching the ducks. When they notice him, it is too late. Appears in a good position and fires all rounds. After the shots, several mallards become shikar. They collect them and continue downriver. Soon 2 ducks fly straight toward them. One shot drops both into the water. This is enough duck for several days, so today's hunt ends here. They find a place to cook fish. Wrap it in foil and put it on the fire. Soon the fish is golden outside and soft inside. Each of them eats one and feels full. Then they start cleaning the ducks. Unlike grouse ducks have more meat, so they pluck all feathers, remove organs, and eat the whole bird. Overall, this year is a lucky year. Over 300 kilos of salmon, 400 to 500 kilos of moose plus grouse and ducks. This winter will be easier. Some say deer meat is too rich and causes nosebleeds, but Western people eat it often and are fine. Today, hunters Mavin and Justin go to Olga Bay. Winter is coming, so they need to hunt a reindeer for food storage. This bay is more than 1 hour by boat. As people say, live by the land, live by the sea. The natives live by both, so birds, animals, and fish are all on the menu. Of course, everything must be legal. The reindeer used to live near people, but a big fire forced them to move west on the island. So now they must travel far to find tracks. As soon as they land, they see tracks but do not rush. Before tracking, they set up camp to hunt safely. The grass is thick here, a favorite place for reindeer. But bears also like this place, so hunters must be careful. A thick fog is coming and visibility is getting worse. Since they cannot hunt now, they decide to catch a few fish for dinner. Hunters always bring fishing gear. If the place is right, getting food is not hard. Not only people hunt fish here, seals are also hunting fish nearby. But in the end, Justin still catches a silver salmon. With fresh salmon, they will have a full dinner tonight. The next day when the fog clears, they put on hunting gear again and start searching for reindeer. When hunting, you should go higher because it is not very cold yet, so herbivores stay on hills and mountaintops. After a short time, they climb a trail on the hillside. From the high ground, they look around carefully and spot a bull reindeer. Through binoculars, they see velvet antlers. The rifle range is not enough, so they move closer quietly. When in range, Justin aims. With one shot, the animal drops immediately. A clean hunt. So clean, even Maven praises him. Western hunters also know velvet antlers are valuable, so they take them. To move meat faster, they process it there. Skin first, then cut good meat. Everything goes into backpacks. Locals only take the best meat. Besides heart and liver, the rest is left. Nature will take care of it. Back at camp, they do not keep all the meat. Young hunters share a large part with elders who cannot hunt anymore. In Alaska, the land of salmon natives rarely eat raw fish. Fresh salmon is smoked or dried. The fishing season is coming. Maven and his nephew Justin need to build a new smokehouse. After smoking, salmon becomes main winter food for locals. First, they dig 4 holes for the foundation. The base must be strong and level for the structure. Then they fill with gravel and pack it tight. Next, they build the wall frame and connect it to the base. Then build the roof and wooden walls. Since it is a smokehouse, smoke must escape, so it should not be sealed tight. This place smokes salmon and also moose meat. The roof must slope for rainwater. Since wood and plywood are ready, they finish the smokehouse in half a day. Now they test it, so they go catch salmon to try smoking. Marvin drives the boat with family. Justin goes to the river mouth. Before they drop the net, they already see salmon jumping. Some even jump onto shore. Any fisherman would go crazy here. Justin's son easily catches the first fish. They tie one end of the net to shore. The other end is pulled to deep water. Justin pulls the net while Maven drives the boat around the fish. After half a circle, they return to shore and slowly pull the net. The salmon try to escape, but it is too late. Adults and kids rush in and grab fish. This is probably the fastest way to net fish. The big catch feels like winning a championship. One trip takes only about 30 minutes. They catch 50 salmon, average 5 kilos each, so about 250 kilos total, worth about $2,000, but this is not commercial fishing, so they cannot sell. It is only food for the family. When they get home, they process fish immediately. First cut off the head, then cut along the back and split it, but keep the tail attached. The fish is washed clean and set aside. After everything is done, they move it to the smokehouse. Soak the fish in salt water for about 1 hour to disinfect and add flavor. Do not use too much salt or it will be too salty. After salting, they hang the fish to dry overnight. While waiting, they go into the forest to find firewood. Justin chooses alder wood because the smell is sweeter than other wood and it has natural oil, so they quickly gather enough wood. Back home, the first thing is to peel birch bark. First put dry wood below, then wet wood on top to make more smoke. The smoking must last at least 7 days. 1 day more or less is not good. After finishing work, it is time to reward themselves. They cook the first fish caught by the river and have a big meal. Real salmon taste, right where it was born. Very few people eat salmon raw. Can you guess why? Is there a job you do once a year but eat all year? Sounds like a joke, but it is real. An Alaska native named Marvin found a job like that. This year he was lucky in the lottery and got his first commercial fishing permit. Before, if he caught salmon, he could only eat or give away. But with this permit, he can sell fish and keep all the money. However, this year the catch is very low, prices are also bad, so fishermen are hit hard. So the local authority decides to extend fishing time by 33 hours. After hearing the news, Maven calls Justin to go to sea. He wants a big catch this time. And after costs, it must support them for a year. Since the last net accident, they analyze the reason and think it was too close to shore. So this time they change location. The net setup is similar, but the net is longer. After finishing, they leave and wait for the tide. 6 hours later, Maven and Justin return to check the net. Usually many kinds of fish get caught, but they only care about salmon that can be sold. Red salmon are the most common here. They start checking the net slowly. This kind of fishing is basically like gambling. If the fish run comes, you get rich. If not, you get nothing. You may even lose money on nets. Luck is on Maven's side this year. The first part of the net is empty, but fish keep coming in later. It is all money. The feeling is like picking up cash. After packing the fish, they must rush to the buying station. The big boat has a crane, so loading is easy. They also weigh the fish for payment in just 6 hours. Maven catches 900 pounds and 816 pounds of salmon. Time is short. After recording, they rush back to the fishing ground, hoping for another full boat. They go back and forth many times, and the catch is huge. Before dark, the season will end. So this is basically the last check. While pulling salmon, they also untangle the net from ropes. The last catch is amazing. Almost every knot has a salmon. Maven cannot stop smiling. They believe in sharing the money. He will give Justin a big share. After the final load, they return to sell and collect cash. In just 33 hours of work, he earns at least over $10,000. Maybe even more. One job a year feeds the whole year. In Gamble on St. Lawrence Island, a native named Daniel spots a walrus on the beach. He quickly calls his son and daughter and prepares the boat. They are Siberian Yupik natives, true locals. Walrus hunting is their tradition. An adult walrus can reach 5 meters and weigh up to 3 tons. One catch feeds the whole village. Gamble is a remote volcanic island in the Bering Sea. Harsh conditions, poor soil, no farming or livestock, so people here rely on the ocean. They can legally hunt walrus. Even large whales can become food. After a long hunt, they stop near floating ice. Some use binoculars, others scan around. Some imitate walrus calls. The animal can appear anywhere, any direction, so they stay fully focused. Suddenly it appears. They start the boat and ready the gun. When the boat hits ice, makes loud noise, so they move carefully. When in best position, Chris aims, waiting for the boat to steady, then fires. They rush to check the target, excited to stop it from sinking. They prepare a harpoon with a float, but when close there is no blood, so the shot missed. They search for a long time, but the walrus does not surface again. It likely swam far to breathe. Sea ice moves with currents and keeps changing. They stop to avoid getting trapped. They cannot stay in one place too long. They must leave first. But missing this chance, finding another walrus will be harder. The weather forecast says next week will be very bad. Then walrus hunting will be impossible. At this moment, the current changes. Large ice blocks start moving, blocking the way they came. If this continues, they will be trapped with no resources, forced to stay overnight at sea. They could die. They decide to end the hunt early and return to shore for safety. No way out. They shake the boat to break the ice. Luckily, the ice is still thin. They open a path and reach safe water. Then they search for walrus again but find nothing. The sun is setting. They must return home for safety. The next day, they cannot go hunting. Daniel and his daughter make ivory crafts. Normally, they collect walrus tusks for carving or trading goods. Even if they cannot hunt now, they make crafts to earn money, to help support the family. Skilled girls are better at this work. Naru takes 2 small tusk pieces. After polishing, she shapes them smooth and even. Finally, she adds hooks to make earrings. She tries them on and they look nice. And her father praises her work. Walrus hunt failed, which means less food, so they turn to caribou on the island. People here are poor, but they eat top wild food, like caribou, walrus, and seal. Even whale meat. St. Lawrence Island is covered with ice. Even the sea is frozen. The land is poor. No farming, so natives survive by fishing and hunting. After the walrus hunt failed, the sea is now covered with ice. They cannot go out. The freezer is almost empty. If they find no food, the family may starve. Daniel is old. His son Chris takes responsibility to provide food for the family. Since the sea is closed, he turns to the small caribou herd. To be safe, he brings his sister and teach her hunting skills before leaving. They check the rifle because hunting chances are quick and no room for mistakes. If the gun fails, the family will go hungry. After preparing, they ride snowmobiles to the area where caribou appear. The island is small, so they quickly spot the herd. The caribou split into 2 groups. They choose one direction and start the chase. On the frozen open field, there is no cover, so to get close. They can only chase and speed up. When close, Chris signals Naru to stop and tells her to prepare to shoot first. He tells her to fire as soon as she catches up, as fast as possible, or they lose the chance. After planning, they split and flank the herd. Chris catches up first. He blocks the slowest one and turns it. Naru follows behind. After a long chase, she finds a chance and fires. But she shoots too fast at a moving target and misses. Chris keeps chasing. He is experienced like a born hunter. He stops, aims, and fires. Every move is smooth and decisive. They take down the first caribou. The family food problem is solved, while the body is still warm. They remove the organs quickly. Winter is cold but best for hunting because food is scarce. Many people in the village are hungry, so they hunt whenever possible. Chris works very fast, it is still daylight, they could still chase the other herd. But before leaving, some caribou run toward them. Naru hides behind the snowmobile. She fires again, but still misses due to lack of experience. She does not give up and chases. This is her first caribou. From this moment, she can feed herself, a late coming of age. Now they have enough food and can share with elders. After cleaning the animal, they load the hide, organs, and head are left behind to return to nature. Back in the village, they bring meat to the elders. They feel proud to feed the old with their own skills. Now Naru aims at a seal. Between Alaska and Russia, there is St. Lawrence Island. On the island, there is a small native village. Gamble. No farming land, no livestock. Locals live by hunting and fishing. Today, Daniel takes Naru to hunt seal. This is her first time as a shooter. She is nervous, scared, but excited. Soon after leaving, they see seabirds. For hunters, this is a good sign. Birds mean fish. And where there are fish, there are seals. Walrus and even whales follow them. And you may get food. Soon they see whales feeding. Seals will not miss this feast. So they search the area carefully. But not every guess is right. After finding no seals, they follow the seabirds again. This time they find the target. Daniel tells his daughter to get ready, but when Naru aims at the seal, she realizes the gun is not ready. By the time she fixes it, the seal is gone. But seals must come up to breathe, so there is still a chance. The seal surfaces again, but she misses. Soon it surfaces a second time. This time she does not hesitate. She aims and fires in one motion, but still misses. The seal is alarmed and will not surface soon, so they move to find another chance. Honestly, shooting a head the size of a fist from a moving boat is extremely hard, even for experienced hunters. So her father does not blame her. They keep moving and fog covers the sea. Low visibility makes hunting harder, but Daniel still spots the seal. He sees it through binoculars, but Naru cannot see it in her scope. At this point, time and weather say the hunt should end, but Naru does not want to quit because the shooter role was always for the boys. She rarely had a chance. Daniel loves his daughter, so he speeds up and leaves the managed area, following seabirds to a beach. Here, seals can be hunted from land without the moving boat. Her chance is better if they can find a seal here. They split up to search. Daniel lies down and scans with binoculars. Naru hides behind rocks and watches through the scope. In the quiet moment, she remembers her grandfather, who passed down the traditions to Daniel and now to her. One day she will pass it on from generation to generation, so the culture lives on. In terms of eyesight, Daniel is better. He spots the seal first and signals her, but in the vast sea, it is huge, and spotting a small seal head is very hard. The wind gets stronger. It is time to end the hunt. If the waves get bigger, the small boat cannot handle it. Even though food is still a problem, they will not starve. They can still catch salmon elsewhere. This barren land cannot farm. No livestock either. People here live from nature. After the failed seal hunt, food becomes scarce, so they decide to fish salmon before going to sea. They repair the aluminum boat used for 45 years. In winter, it often hits floating ice, so damage is normal. Now the boat leaks badly. Before it ran fast. Now it sinks fast. Aluminum boats are light but weak, so they repair it every year. Before using this boat, local people used boats made entirely from wood, covered with a large walrus skin. It is hard to imagine how they sailed in the open sea. After fixing the boat, they prepare for fishing. Recently, many villagers caught salmon. That means big fish are nearby. Fishing is heavy work for the whole family, so Daniel calls his son Chris to help. When fishing near shore, they must consider the tide, so they use strong anchors. There is nothing to tie to, so they dig a big hole in the sand for the anchor, then push the repaired boat into the sea, using the motor to pull the rope to deep water. When the rope is tight, they drop a heavy weight and attach a float, then go back to shore to hang the net. The rope must stay tight, or the net will not work well. After setting the net, they go home and wait the next day. The whole family returns feeling nervous. If there are fish, it is fine. If not, yesterday was wasted. After preparing, everyone pulls the net together. They use all their strength. Good news. They caught salmon and the fish are big. Bad news. Only 3 fish, During this hungry season, fishing is the main food source. If they want to eat enough, they must keep fishing. As one of the few local hunters, they must feed their family and also share food with the village. After fixing the net, they make a fire and cook salmon in foil. It smells delicious because eating food is the most important thing in life. Fishing here is still active, but they cannot rely only on fish. No one knows the catch will be big or small. In a few days, deer season starts. Daniel will take his daughter hunting to secure food. If not for food shortage, they rarely hunt in summer because the road to the hunting ground is far and hard, full of mud holes, big rocks and small rivers. Very exhausting. Today it rains and fog is everywhere. Low visibility makes spotting hard, so they decide to go straight to the hunting cabin and wait for better weather. Near the cabin, they suddenly see a seal in the water. Any animal they can hunt, they will not miss the chance. Naru aims at the seal, but it keeps diving and surfacing, so timing is everything. When the chance comes, she fires, but the bullet misses the target. After reaching the cabin, they wait on the beach until night, but no seal appears. The next day they go hunting again, but this trip is full of trouble before they even find caribou. Daniel's ATV loses power. Very bad luck. The ATV must be towed back to the village, which means the caribou hunt is delayed. It seems the food problem still depends on fishing. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our next exciting survival videos. Finally, share your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next adventure.